Kelly.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Katie.
How are you? Hi, hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you all for joining. Just waiting for a couple more people to join. Hi, Greg, how are you?
Happy New Month, everyone.
Yeah, happy new month. Hi, Johnson. Hi,
Hello,
Belle.
everyone.
How are you all? Thank you all very much for joining this evening. Sorry we couldn't make Thursday, but I wanted to make it. If you guys could mute your mic, guys, could we mute your mic? Johnson, I think your mic's on. Shiny Johnson. Okay, I'm just going to mute everybody's mic if that's okay. So guys, a little bit of housekeeping. We've got some questions coming up already in the chat. So how this session works, for those of you are new, welcome. Feel free to have your cameras on, have your cameras off. I really don't mind. Obviously, it's great if I can see you if you're being active. Obviously, I do appreciate you. Some of you might be putting the kids to bed or just like washing the dishes and just kind of multitask. And that is absolutely perfect. So don't worry. This session I put on every single month. It's normally the last Thursday of every month. And the reason that I do this is so that people get the chance to ask questions, because if you can imagine, on Amazon, we have millions of products. So even the people that have studied the course module by module, there are still going to be questions, because as you can appreciate, there are so many different products that you guys could be choosing and could be selecting. So this session really is about getting underneath the hood of what you're doing and trying to really understand where you are in your journey. So you can go ahead and pop questions in the chat. You can also raise your hand. And what I'll do is I'll work through one by one. I've also got a few things to share with you tonight, a few trend reports, a few things that have been happening for Black Friday. And obviously, once we can get our first product selling, how we can take advantage of events like Black Friday in the future. So I'm just going to jump. Rachel, I have a few things to clear. Do we have a step-by-step to proceed? Do we have access for the newsletter? Okay, so by step, it's the modules, how you follow the modules. So module 1 is all about how do I find a winning product? So module 1 is really important to watch to understand how we find a winning product. Then we move to module 2. Module 2 is all about sourcing. How do we source safely? How do we source from overseas? How do we check regulations, certifications? And then we move on to number 3. And 3 is all about private label. How do we make something our own? How do we brand it? How do we box it? How do we package it? How do we then get it from factory directly into Amazon itself? Doesn't matter which country, it's all the same. How do we get the labels? We put our barcode in, we get their barcode, we put it on our products, we ask the factory to do it, we send them a PDF, and the shipment comes into Amazon. Module 4 is all about Amazon, and we go step by step on creating listings, doing the images, doing the video, etc., and starting our ads. So Rachel, that is really the step by step. So following the process of the course is how you should do it. A lot of people say to me, I've opened my Seller Central account, I'm ready to sell on Amazon. And actually opening a Seller Central account isn't the first thing to do. The first thing to do is find a product, because it could take you 3 months to find a product and get the samples and check it and organize everything. And you've saved 3 months on paying for your Seller Central fee. Now that only might be small, and you might think, well, it doesn't really matter, but it's really not that important to begin with, because we want to choose the brand name, we want to get the trademark logo and all the other things. So Mira, you have questions, just list the questions, my darling, and we will come to them as well as we go. I'm gonna, while you're typing in your questions, I am going to also just share with you a few things. So let me just. let me just share some product reports. So let me just check. You can see what I see. So obviously we are in the winter months. Some products that are doing remarkably well. Now these may be under the £30 price mark, but just so you can see what's doing really, really well. New things that are coming up in the market. Sometimes they're just new versions of. We always look to the US to what's coming. Sometimes we can find products that are in the US that are not in the UK. So it always kind of gives us a nod to what's coming. Obviously hand warmers. Now there are quite a lot of cold countries. So hand warmers rechargeable 2-pack with wireless charging case. This product is doing $26,000 a month. It only has 28 reviews. The nice thing about having low review count is that if you've got a low review count, but you're still doing high sales, it means that there's either not much competition or the client isn't really, the shopper isn't really looking at the amount of reviews. Revenue per review is very low, the ratio. So this is also a very good thing. And it was only launched in August this year. So again, this is really, really good. Hand warmers rechargeable. Next, we have the automatic fish feeder. I'm just going to check you're seeing the screens. Yes. So the automatic fish feeder for aquarium. So again, people maybe with a passion for fish, for aquariums, know quite a lot about it. This could be a great product for you. We're nearing the $30 price point, and you know, we could put something extra in to make it over the price that we like. And again, launched in September, already doing $15,000 a month. So again, you could check to see if this was already in the UK or not. For those of you who just joined, good evening. Hi, Saman. Hi, everybody. We're just nipping through a few trend reports. And everybody, if you've got questions, just pop them in the chat and I'll come to it straight after this. So that is the automatic fish feeder. Next, we've got, we've just had Francis join as well. Hi, Francis. Next, we've got a magnetic chore chart. This is averaging over $10,000 a month. And it's a very lucrative niche score of 7. And again, doing really, really well. So you can see here how much money this is taking per month. Some sellers are over 22,000. And this is just for chores, but a nice way to do it because it's magnetic and things don't fall off. So again, if you are thinking about maybe household stuff or stuff for the kids, this could be really good. And this is something quite new. Next, we have a discrete voice recorder. Again, a niche score of 8, over $27,000 per month, and selling a nice price of $50. So this is a bit of a weird one because it's almost like a bit like a spy product, but these sort of products do really well, like the cameras, the small cameras. So if anybody's interested in tech and you haven't found a product yet, you can look in this niche. There's some really good products. So for those of you who just joined, we're just going through a few trend reports of products that are doing particularly well while people get their questions in the chat. Another product that's doing very well, again, price point is a bit low, but you could put 2 products together, or you could do a little bundle. For bath time is the baby bath thermometer. Again, it's done in the shape of a crab, so it's quite nice. Over $18,000 in revenue, and it was only launched in 24. So already doing great revenues. And look at the review count. Again, really, really low. So that just means that, again, it doesn't really matter. The ratio of revenue per review is very low. It means that the buyer is not really looking at the reviews for this product. They want a solution to their bath time, and they like what they're finding, and they're just buying. So again, a nice monthly revenue. So if you guys are looking to maybe make 5-6K a month, this is quite a good product. And again, you can sell in the States. You don't have to sell in the UK. Pricing history and product history here. Just a few more. We've got the machine washable electric car blanket with USB fast charging, heated travel blanket. So again, for up to bigger cars, it fits. So people that are getting cold, again, only 9 reviews. Can you believe this? Only 9 reviews and doing over 15,000 a month already. This was only launched. This is the opposite way around, it's the States. So it was launched in July. So again, really, really great product. Got a couple more for you. And again, guys, this is just to give you some ideas for those of you who are stuck on product choice. These are products that I've picked that are trending from November. So they're very current and showing you the types of products that are making quite a lot of money with very little reviews. So again, for people with arthritis, you know, as we get older, people have problems with that hands. This isn't going to change. This is never really going to go away because we're all going to age at some stage if we're lucky enough to. So finger arthritis compression hand ice pack gloves for pain relief, adjustable wrist ice pack for hot and cold therapies, reusable gel finger ice pack sleeve. So again, only 24 reviews, launched in June. And again, over 8,000. Remember, this will be a small and light product. So the shipping will be very, very low. And again, very, very easy to launch. Last one, maybe I've got one more after this, is the double cross 14 karat gold or silver plated double cross pendant necklace. Just at $10. So again, this could be like a necklace and something else in a nice box just to get that price up. $10, but it's doing over $28,000 a month with just 44 reviews. So just a few insights from November sales in what's happening. And I've got some stats on Black Friday. We've taken them from last year, but it just gives you an idea of how you can take advantage next year of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and how you can yourself make sure you've got products in stock and the kind of things that people are looking for. So we'll flick through that in a minute. But first of all, I am going to head back to the questions. So for those of you who have joined, welcome. Hi. Hello, Greg. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lou. If you've got questions, put them in the chat. This is all about just answering questions. So that's why we do a monthly session. Our Christmas session is landing the Thursday of Boxing Day. So we are probably going to do it about the 29th or the 30th because many people aren't around on Boxing Day. So we will let you know and we will email you all with the new date for December. So there'll be 2 this month. So let's go from the beginning of the questions. Please understand there's no such thing as a silly question, guys. All I ask you to be is calm and kind and courteous. We have a really nice group and that's where we want to keep it. So Mira, what if you can't find unique products to create a brand? Can I find anything to sell from Amazon? You can always find products. If you cannot find anything, then let me know and I can send you trend reports. We can look at what's been selling. It's sometimes good if you haven't got an idea is to go back to what you know and to find a passion product, find a hobby or, you know, something that you know a lot about. We've had a lot of really good success stories with people, for instance, like say if you know a lot about dogs or you know a lot about running or you know a lot about, you know, kitchens or cooking, or if you know something a lot about an actual industry or one particular thing that not a lot of people know about, then that's what I would say to focus on first and do your research on. So I've got somebody that's into the outdoors and does a lot of like outdoor hobbies, and there's some amazing products there. So it's actually trying to get into a niche. A lot of people think that you need to do like mugs or plates or something that's very generic. And I would say absolutely not. You've got to try and find something that is quite niche, because if you can create something unique in that space, you can carve out a few different products within that niche. So that's where you really want to, you know, really focus on, should I say. So about the packaging, if you have already the company logo on the product, on the box, do we still need to keep the our company names. Not necessarily. So when you've got the packaging, what we normally do is we will have our, there's two trains of thought. So sometimes if you're trialing a product and you only want to try like 20 just to see if it's definitely going to work, sometimes you don't need to do like a fully branded box. So often if we're doing 200, I would always do a custom box. Okay. And I will put on it importer. So for instance, we'll have like importer and the name, and that will be our company name and the postcode. We'll also have all of the government marks that we need, like CE, we'll have the recycle bin, all of that kind of stuff. And then we'll have like what's inside it, because obviously if they can't see it, you need to put a little picture. So people, this is an off-the-shelf product that we sell in TK Maxx. However, if you are just doing, say, 20 just to make sure it works, then you don't always have to do the branding on the box the first time, because it may be that you try it, you make sure it works, and then the second time when you place an order, you brand the boxes completely with your own brand. Sometimes factories are funny by doing small numbers of outer boxes, and sometimes what we need to do is buy the boxes, keep them in stock with the supplier, and just get them to fill a certain amount and send them into Amazon. So it's not always necessary. It's better if someone gets a fully branded product. But if you are just trying like 20 or 30, then don't worry too much. But you do need to have normally your importer details on the back, especially if you're going to do stores eventually. So places like, you know, John Lewis or Debenhams or whatever, you need to have importer details, because if anything needs to be checked on the product, then they need to know who you are. What I'd also say is barcodes. Barcodes are a funny one. So barcodes for Amazon come in the form of FN SKU labels, which is Fulfillment Network Stock Keeping Unit. That is Amazon's barcode to identify your product. But before you get the FN SKU label to be able to put onto your boxes or to send to the factory, you need to first buy yourself a GS1 barcode. So it's really important that you go onto GS1, and again, it's in the module, and you need to buy a yearly license. I will show you that because I've opened the window on my computer, so I'll show you that after. First, you go onto gs1.org, you buy your 10 barcodes, and then you come back into Amazon, create your listing with that barcode, and it will spit out the right FN SKU number for Amazon to recognize your products. So some people say, oh, but it's really irrelevant because I'm buying barcodes and then I'm stickering over it. But if you're in retail, you actually need to show that GS1 barcode, and you'll see that in, if you go shopping in Tesco's or Lidl or Waitrose or wherever. Faluka, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I put my hand up. Okay, I didn't know that I can order like say 20 or 30 to test the market.
You can, it depends on the supplier. You need to negotiate. Sometimes they will not let you buy 20 or 30 items, but if they do, then you can test with that. The challenge is that will probably go out of stock very quickly, and then you've got to replenish. So you're going to cause yourself 2 headaches. And when you go out of stock, the algorithms stop completely. So it's almost like starting over when you come back in stock again. But for some people, they like to test the market first. So they might buy 20 or 30 units rather than 100 or 200. 200 is the maximum that you can stock in FBA to begin with. So you cannot have, 500. So you have to start with 200 or less.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah. But it's really just negotiating, because a lot of the factories, if they're going to customize your product, if they're going to put your logo on it and they're going to do all these things that we want them to do, they're probably not going to make 20 or 30. However, if they've already got the stock, then you just need to do an amazing job on the listing, because what you don't want to do is use all their images for the listing. because you want to make the listing still look amazing. But soon as you know it's selling, you need to then make sure you've got the stock ready to come in. So you can do that if you're feeling a little bit like, oh, I'm a little bit vulnerable, or, you know, I've only got £1,500 to spend on stock and I really need 3 or 5, you know, then of course you can buy a smaller amount to begin with.
I thought Amazon won't allow us to list without our logo on them.
Yes, you can list without your logo on them. It depends. If you have a trademark,
Yeah.
if you've bought the trademark, you won't get brand registry if the name isn't on your product. So you've got the trademark, but you won't be able to have all of the brand registry assets. So you won't be able to have A+ content. You won't be able to use videos. So again, it just depends. If you can go through the trademark registration, which is why I teach it, then you can have way better converting listings because you can have video content as well. You also get, like, you can get people that can unbox the product and you can use those videos, and you can have lots and lots of different things. So I would say always, if you can, have brand registry, have the name on the product. But where we're testing something, we may go with a small unit, test it, buy it big.
Sorry, I don't have. I just can't see how to raise my hand. To be honest, I don't have this icon here.
Don't worry.
Apologize.
Don't worry.
Mira.
Mira, hi,
Mira.
Mira.
Hi. Just a brief one. If I want to start without trademarks registered,
Yes.
just with my like sole trader registration, is it possible after that to change from trademark from not trademark to trademark? I forgot the word again.
So you're saying, I think what you're trying to say is, if you start as a sole trader,
Mhm.
can you change to a limited company?
Yes. Yeah.
It's very difficult. Amazon are a pain in the you know what at the very best of times. So to change account details, say for instance, you change your limited name, or you change the company name, or you change bank from Tide to NatWest or whatever, it's a nightmare. So what I would
Okay.
say is, it doesn't matter. Start off as a sole trader, absolutely fine, because you can do up to, what is it, 90,000. So, you know, you can have quite a nice business for the first year, building your business. But what I would say is, you know, start off as you mean to go on. You can open a limited company with someone like Rapid Formations for like about £50. And if you open a pro seller account, you don't have to pay every time you list a product. Whereas if you go on the non-professional one, you have to every time you list a product. So it ends up costing you more in the end. To get the GTIN, I know another one of your questions is, how do you get the GTIN 13 numbers? And as I was saying before, you go to GS1. I think you can see my screen now. If you go to gs1uk.org, this is global standard. So GS1 own the monopoly on GTINs, which is Global Trade Identification Number, and UPCs, which is Universal Product Codes. Now, in the US, you need UPC codes. In the UK, you can have either or, but we tend to use global, the GTINs. Now, all as it means is, if there's ever a recall on your product, so if, for instance, you're selling in Amazon or you're selling in Selfridges and there's a problem with your product, what they do is they recall the product. You might see in Lidl or Aldi or wherever you shop, sometimes there's a product recall and they're like, this is dangerous, we're recalling these products. They find the supplier, the person that's selling, i.e. you and me, through GS1. They go to GS1 and they're like, who is responsible for this product? So this is the global trade. Okay, this is a really important part of your business. For £50 a year, you can get 10 barcodes. If you think that you can go on the internet and buy a GTIN 13 code for £1, you can, but the problem comes sometimes when you try and list your product in Amazon, they'll say, this number's already in use, and it can actually deactivate your account. We've had cases with the agency where we're looking after a really big brand. They've brought really dodgy barcodes. They've not registered on GS1 to save like £3 or something. And it's pulled down their whole Amazon account. So what I would say to you is, and that's why I recommend it. I don't make any money from using GS1, but it's the proper standards for product. So always get the proper, the proper procedures in place with your business. And the GS1 org account is absolutely paramount. It's like £50. So what happens is, once you've got your number bank, you'll see here GTN13, and then this is the prefix of your barcode, and then it will be like the last four that will make yours unique. And then you can go to your number bank and you can literally like print them out. You can download your barcode credits, and then they're the numbers that you then put into your Amazon listing. So it's really, really simple. It takes a couple of minutes, but they're your numbers for the whole year, and they will stay with you, and you just renew them. So you can list up to 10 products. If you need more, you just buy more. So that's why GS1 is really important. And it's just a way of the world identifying who are you, and who is this seller. And if there's any problems, God forbid, with your product, they know how to recall it. They know how to inform you. So yes.
When we register trademark, is it better to register a trademark only in the country that you're going to work, or it is good if you register international?
It depends how much money you have and how big you want to go with your product idea. In short, if you have limited budget and you are going to be launching in one country first, i.e. the UK, it's much better that you go to the government website and you register your name in the UK. It costs £170. That includes one class. If you want to add more classes, it's £50 a class. What I would say, like I say in the modules, you register the name and the logo if you can. The name is fine on its own, but if you do name and logo, it gives you better protection. Once you register, you will have an email from the IPO within the first normally 2 weeks to say, we think this is going to be fine. And then within 12 weeks, you get the registration document, and you must always check search IPO in your mailbox. I've missed so many of my trademarks when they've come through. They've like come through to my spam, and I'm like, sure, I haven't got that trademark. And then I look in my junk, and there they are. They just ping in. So if ever you've got a brilliant idea, and even if it's something that you're going to do like next year or the year after, but you've got a great name, I'd always say do the trademark and do the domain name, because for £170, you can actually protect that trademark. So definitely worth doing. Do it in the country that you're going to do first. You can, if you're going to launch eventually in the States, you can also check their register like you can do with our government. You can go to the USPTO, search trademark names, and literally find out if anyone's got that name. So I would always make sure, I think I was having this conversation last week with Suman. We were talking about brand names, and I said, the best thing that you can do is always try to find a name that no one else has, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to enter a war with other people trying to get the same name, because it's going to cost you a fortune. What you want to try and do is get a name that nobody else has. So if, for instance, you think of a name but someone's already got it and you want to put the trademark in, if they try and compete and say we've done this before, it just ends up in a really lengthy battle of will, and it normally goes to the earliest registered trademark. So I would just say always check the trademark. They're very, very transparent, and you will then see if that is already been registered. So hopefully that helps, Mira.
Yes, definitely.
The FNSKU label can be any size. It's normally a small size to go on your when you print them off on Amazon, it gives you sizes what you can print them off, and it's normally in A4 sheets of stickers. So you can do like 5 across or 3 across or 7 across, and you just buy like the sheets from Amazon. It's actually quite a good product to sell, I think, because everybody needs them. So yeah.
Why do we buy them, these sheets?
Amazon?
Because Yeah, but why do we need them? Don't we just say send these sheets to the these FSQ labels to the factory, or?
You do, yes. But if, say, for instance, you're bringing in 500 pieces because you know it's going to sell really quick, because you can only put 200 in, you might have 300 with you in your garage or whatever. Yeah, but normally they just go direct to the factory.
Okay, now I understood.
No worries. Okay, I'm going to move away from you right now, Mira, not because I don't want to answer any more questions, but I just want to answer some other questions. About designers, where are they? They're from. So yeah, you'll be responsible for making your own designs for boxes, guys. You can't expect the factory to do your box design. You ask them for a cutter guide, and that's also in the module. If you want to go through that in more detail, you'll get the cutter guide, and then you'll need to lay out the artwork on the cutter guide. It's like a flat sheet of paper, and it will be cut so that when you fold it, it all makes a box. So you need to make sure the artwork is all laid out, so when the box is folded, it closes on the relevant sides. Okay, so that's called a cutter guide, or a deco, and the supplier will send you that, and you just make sure with your designer that you can fill that out. If you're ever stuck, you can find people to help you on Upwork or Fiverr. They're freelance platforms. And there's many people that do this kind of work. What I would say to you all is just vet the work. Make sure you double, triple check the work they've done in the past. Don't always go to the highest price point or the lowest one. Have a look around, and give them one piece of work at a time, because you may think, oh, they're really good. Give them both of your jobs, and then actually they're rubbish. So just always do one at a time and see. Okay, so I'm going to come back to a few of your questions in a minute. Mira, I see you've got more questions.
Yeah. This time I have all the questions that I didn't have. I couldn't ask before.
No worries. Will Amazon allow that, Feluke? What do you mean?
Is that my question?
No, that's Feluke.
You've answered it. Don't worry, you've answered.
Okay, I've answered that. Okay. Okay, yes, I can explain that again. So TV, she just asked, can you explain again how to count the seller and the reviews to see the niches included me? Okay, yeah, I will show you that in a second. Shiny, my volume is quite high. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. I'm quite turned up. I've actually got this because I was speaking through my speakers in my desktop, and sometimes it wasn't. Yeah, so I've got quite a lot of thumbs up. So Shiny, just if you can maybe increase on your side, about what is wrong with listing products that are already selling well on Amazon. Well, of course, if products are already selling well on Amazon and they've got lots of reviews and they're doing really well, it's going to be pretty hard to compete if you sell exactly the same product. So when you check out products that are selling well, it's great because they've got demand, but you've always got to make sure that you can bring something different. So for instance, if you can read the reviews, do comparisons, and actually you've just reminded me, I want to show you the new AI tool. I know I showed it to the people last month, but there's another new feature they've put on, and it's really good. It allows us to now compare all of our competitors. We first favorite them, and we can literally compare them all in an instant, where normally we have to like put it into spreadsheets or download the CSV files. Now we can actually compare them in an instant. So this tool is with AMZ Scout. For those of you who don't know AMZ Scout, they are a research tool that I use. So it's definitely worth looking at if you haven't done it already. I have got a money off coupon as well. I will put there later. So I'm going to show you that. Is there a formula that we can decide on the price we charge for each product on Amazon? Yes. So Lou, pricing really should be, you should really look at what the category on the whole is charging. So if you're going head to head with a product and you can see they're charging £100, It really depends on what else you are bringing to the table. So if your product is as good as it, maybe better because you're adding like new features, you then need to work out, obviously, sort of backwards, you need to work out cost of goods, how much your freight is. So what we normally say is a third, and a third. The first third is your cost of goods. So COGS, COGS, we call it. So that's the money you pay for the product and the freight into Amazon. So that should be a third. Okay. Then the second third is your Amazon FBA fees. So that's the money they're going to charge you for storing your product, for picking, for packing, for shipping it and doing the customer service. And the other part that makes up the second third is the ads. So you have to allow yourself some money to start the ads, because the first 90 days, it's going to take us up to 90 days to get to that sort of position that we're happy with, because we have to have the ad strategy. So the last third should be your profit. So it's you have to look at what is selling and what kind of price points, but you also have to look at, okay, cost of goods. So cost of goods, freight into Amazon, that's your first third. Your second third is, what are my Amazon FBA fees and how much am I going to allow myself for ads? And then what's remaining should be your last third. So it's almost like, you know, the game where you play on and you put the cheeses in. Yeah, what's it called? I don't know. That one that I'm always rubbish at.
Trivial Pursuit.
That's it, Trivial Pursuit. Yes. I always think of Amazon when I play that game because it's got all the cheeses in the thing, and I'm like, oh, cost, FBA. So yeah. So that's kind of like how I think of it. So a third, a third, a third. So minimum, we should be looking at 25%, making 25%, but really we want to like a third if we can. Yeah. So that's really, and we need to do those sums before we start to buy the product. So yeah, does that make sense? Great. Feluke, can you share the design later, the box you've decided? Yeah, you can email me that, no problem. Okay, you've downloaded the AMZ Scout but couldn't compare products. Yes, Ibel, if you've got the free software, you won't be able to. This is a new AI tool. So I am going to put this is the code. If anybody buys anything on AMZ Scout, just put this in at checkout. You should get some money off. Kelly AMZ. It's quite easy to remember. Okay, so I'm going to go back now and I'm going to show you how to identify for SoTV, how we look at the reviews. So let me just bring up Amazon. So SoTV, what we need to do is when we're looking for a product, we need to make sure that, in fact, let me just do this. So I've just picked a random product. I think I've been putting my Christmas decorations up, that's why. So what I've got here, I've obviously got advantages here because I've already got all the tools installed on my computer. So you're going to see things on my computer you probably won't see it on yours, because you do need software when you are hunting for a product. So what I've done with the Pro AI extension is I've actually put it up here on my toolbar. So when I'm looking for a product, I'll click that. There's a number of ways that you can use the database, but I will utilize it for the sake of this report, and I'll show you what I see. So to get into the top 10, what's really important is that it's not really, really crowded. So what I mean by crowded is you don't want the top 10 to be like, and there's different keywords. So I put here welcome door sign, but there's loads of other keywords that people are typing in to find the same thing. So what I need to do first of all as well is to think about all of those search terms, those keywords that people are searching for, because there's a way I can check the volume on these search terms, these keywords. And that is really imperative, because if I know that there are thousands of people searching for a welcome door sign, I already know that if I match that with a great product, then people are going to buy my product. I first just need to sanity check all the rest of the stuff, okay? So what I first look for is the niche score. The niche score here is amber. Okay, so anything over 6 is good. Obviously better if it's 7 because it's going to turn into a green. 7, 8, 9, up to 10. So we're looking for this to be as high as possible. Visibility should be low. This means that not many people have seen this product niche. So the visibility, the lower it is, if it's a 0, even better, but 1's really good. And then I'm looking for PL scores. I'm looking for the PL, means product score for private label. I'm looking for this to be green. I've got some green scores here. So this would indicate to me that this is a good price point, or there's something with this listing that's good. I've got some ambers here. I've got some other green scores here that's really, really good. And again, some more green scores. Now, I'm going to show you what the AI tool does. So what I've showed you so far is just on the regular AMZ Scout, but now they've added this AI feature, and it honestly cuts down the research so much. So what I do first of all is I'm going to favorite them. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to favorite all the ones with like green scores. And then I'm going to come up into favorites. I'm just going to unfavorite these ones because this is a product that I was looking at before. Now I'm going to have to go back because it didn't give me enough favorites. Okay. So let me just favorite a few more now, even though they're not green, because I'm going to show you what it does. So we go to favorites, and can you see already it's put all of those ones I favorited. So if I'm really like looking at something and I've got, okay, it's got a great niche score, got great PL scores, all of a sudden it's comparing everything. So at a glance, I can compare all the products that I want to. Okay, I can see the PL scores, the brands, the ASIN numbers, everything, the BSR, the price, the listing quality scores, when they've been selling from. Now, if I hit product comparison, sorry, let me do this. It's so new that I actually need to add them to my comparison. It's going to compare those products for me. Now, this is a game changer. So for some of you who have found your product, if you have the AI tool, obviously, if you're working with me, we can do this together. We can look at these product comparisons, okay? And the nice thing about it is we can see everything side by side. So we can see like the number of reviews. So like this one's 25 reviews, this one's got 1,000, this is 641, 558, the ratings. And this is really important because say, for instance, I was looking at this category and I was really serious about launching a product. I can see in an instant what the PL scores are, what the pricing is, how many reviews, and I haven't got to keep going back and forward, downloading files. It's really, really, really good. So again, this is just something new that they've just brought out, and it's a great way to be able to compare products. You can analyze the listings as well with AI. So let's take this one. So this one's got the 7. So let's just see what it comes up with. Admittedly, it's a bit slow because obviously I'm kind of on here with you guys, but this is really cool as well. So say, for instance, you were like, well, how can I improve this product? What can I do? So this gives you the insights into this product. So it tells you, okay, what's happening. Now, I look at the product improvement. Now, remember, this is just launched, literally just launched. So I'm one of the only 5 coaches that have launched this product for AMZ Scout. So imagine how much advantage we have right now. So it tells you what we should improve. Now, normally we would have to dig for this info, right? But look, we've already found out. Expand the product line to include additional designs, such as classic this, offer variants. Again, this is probably not the greatest one to choose because a welcome door sign, obviously it's going to say Christmas right now because it's Christmas, it's holidays. But You can copy them to clipboard. It saves so much work when you are looking for a product. So what I would say to you guys is if you haven't got a research tool and you're in the research phase, just get it for a month, use it, research it. But obviously, if you're going to get it, you need to use it and then cancel it. You don't need it all the time. But again, if you are in that research phase, please do not try and do your research without using a tool because it will take you forever. And you really don't need to do that. And obviously, if you drop down the listings as well, guys, you've got another shortcut under here to the product analysis. So it can analyze the products. For those of you, like I say, who are serious about a product, you've got a product, use the analysis tool to find out what your competitor is doing and what they need to improve on. If you can improve on it, then you're already in a winning seat, right? So you can improve on already a good selling product. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay. Oof. 8:47 already. Okay, so hopefully, so Phoebe, does that answer a little bit of your question? Yes? No?
Most of mine are answered, but do you know, when I was looking at the video,
Yeah.
you just went very fast through it and I couldn't make my calculation and I couldn't understand it. Could you please explain about when we have, let's say, 300 boxes
Yes.
ordered,
Yes.
how do we calculate how much are in the master?
Yes,
In the
sure.
master box on the pallet, and after
No.
that, how many pallets we have to order?
Okay.
This is how I didn't understand it.
Okay, Mira, I'll come back to you. Sorry, my question was just to Soheili before to make sure she understood that.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's
Sorry.
okay. Was it that okay, so Phoebe? Was that okay for you? Yeah, perfect, great. Mira, to do with your carton sizes, your master cartons, you will get a packing list. So when your goods are packed, every goods are different. So you can't tell the factory. They will tell you. They'll say 10 master cartons, 20 products in each, and you will get the individual size of each carton with the gram or the kg and the master carton weight and dimensions, always in centimeters, because when you're doing your Amazon listing, you will need to put every individual item, the size and the weight, so that when you upload your carton size into Amazon, they automatically check. If you've said it's 1 kilogram and there's 20 in a box, and then you put your master carton as 14 kilograms, they're going to be like, that's wrong. So
Yeah.
you get a
This
packing
is
list.
I understood that. The idea was when we make the labels, how do we calculate how many labels to order
Well, you would have ordered
for the master,
product.
for the masters. So so the factory is actually telling us how many pallets we will have. So we are ordering exactly how many
No.
that many labels, or
No, Mira, you're making it way more complicated than what it is. So what happens is if you're shipping 200 products, okay, you basically, when the goods are ready from the factory and you pay your balance and you've seen the size of goods, they will send you a packing list. You then upload on Amazon, when you go into the back end, you will put in your master carton details and it will say master carton details, and you will put, if the factory have said to you, okay, they're in 20s. So say I'm packing this product, they're in 20s and I'm sending 200, so 10 main cartons. Per carton, you'll put 20 inside, you put the dimensions of the master carton, and when it downloads the PDF, it will give you 20 box labels and it'll go box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, and you get PDF. It's all automated. You don't need to worry. And remember, Mira, you're the kind of person that you want to know the destination. When you're going to Barbados, you want to see the beach. Let me tell you, you have to get on the plane first. Okay. So do not try to understand every single part of the journey, because you will drive yourself inside out. Okay. I promise you, as the next stage unveils, learn it, do it. And once you've done it once, honestly, it will become so easy. But sometimes we're bothering ourselves with like 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, and I'm afraid to start because I'm afraid
Yeah.
that I haven't understood something that is
Yeah,
almost
but
at the end of the of the chain.
but listen, you're gonna trip yourself over. I promise you. Just take the next step. Just take the next step. Learn the next thing. Get the product. Get the sample. Approve the sample. It's very simple. But you're trying to run a million miles ahead, and you don't
Yeah.
need to do that. Okay, so just step back and just kind of concentrate on where you're at. I understand your mind's racing, you want to know everything. You won't understand the whole business today, I promise you. I've been doing this over 10 years, 20 years in product, and I learn new things every single day. Things change, AI tool come out, then you have to learn that. And so you will learn it all, but just, take your time, else otherwise you're going to drive yourself mad.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Sorry, guys, I didn't want to waste your time. If I
There's no wasting of
apologize.
time. There's no wasting of time. Obviously, guys, when you grab the trademark, also try and always grab the domain name. Doesn't matter if it's not .com or .co.uk, but if you can, great. If it's like $9.99, just to protect that domain name from anybody else using it, because we will populate that and have that with our brand on, even if we don't put the gateway on there. But we can use things like Stripe that are very compatible and they don't charge. So there's ways to have your brand looking great without costing us the earth. Okay, so I think let's see if we've got any more questions.
I've got only one more, and that's the last one for today. But if someone
Okay.
else, I can wait.
Yes, please. Just 1 second. Just type it in the chat for me, Mira. Thank you.
It's a long one.
Okay, I'll come back to you. About you can launch different products at the same time. It just sometimes is better to launch one product at a time. And again, just trying not to do the gunshot approach. Just be really sure that that product is the right product. Do the homework, get the sample, read the reviews, do the product comparisons, and just really try to do it correctly. If you're launching different products, you may not give it all the attention you need. You may not create the listing properly. You may not get the video, all of those things. So I would say just launch one product at a time, get it right. Obviously there's not a day that goes by that I don't get a call from somebody that people try and put through to me where sellers have launched 10, 12, 15,000 pounds worth of product. They're still not selling. They never did any research. I mean, honestly, I hear this every single day. I also hear great stories, but where people just think more the better, just like launch loads of products, buy them from Made in China or Alibaba or Global Sources and just launch loads of products. It's much better to take your time and really make the product different, do the research, and just take your time. Amazon is not going anywhere. Do it right, do it once. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, Mira, your question, please.
So when we create our website, and after that we create a Shopify. So how are these two connected? I mean, is there any connection between them, or they're just two different platforms and we are just using them with separate CEOs and advertising and etc.?
Shopify is a platform to create a website on. They're not two different things. You can create a website with the Shopify software, or you can do it in WordPress. So either one is fine. But it's the same thing. It's a website. It's the software to create it.
So we can create a website and a shop with
the shop is on
Shopify.
the website with Shopify. Yeah.
Aha. So we don't need a separated website somewhere else. Nothing else. Okay. And when we register ourselves in Amazon, we are going to use the Shopify address, name of the site.
No, you're going to use your limited company.
Okay, so they are not asking us if we have a website or something.
They do, but it's not important. I mean,
Ah,
that's
okay.
really relevant. It's really relevant. It's
All
just
right then.
for brand. It's more of a brand asset down the road. You know,
Okay,
just
brilliant.
something where people can look at and go, oh yeah, there's a brand.
Okay, amazing.
Okay, no more questions, Mira, from you tonight.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's really fine. I'm only pulling your leg. So Thesey, my question was continuing about testing the market. If I list about less than 200, do I really need to add my brand or just yeah, you can absolutely do that. So you don't have to use your brand. You can test them first. But again, if your branding is going to add something, so adding a lovely box, if you wanted to do other bits inside, if the branding is going to add to the experience, which adds to the reviews and the stars and the feedback people give you, then it's a trade-off. So if I was launching a tech product and it was like a big item ticket number, I might not do all the branding. I might just, you know, launch it. But if it was something that was like a really nice touchy-feely product that you wanted people to really, like a gift, for instance, but that could sell all year round, then I'd want to offer everything personalized from the, like, packaged properly from the beginning. But you can do it either way around. Obviously, if it's a trademark brand and you've registered your brand, if it doesn't have your brand on it, you won't be able to get A+ content. You won't be able to use videos. So again, if you go in as a generic and not under brand name, then you can't backtrack, because even if you add your brand, you're still going to be under generic. You can't swip it over to a brand. That's why for people that are really serious about their brand and their product, we wait for the trademark to come through, we go through brand registry, and then we list the product. So we've got brand registry from the beginning. So yes, anyway, we're coming to the end of our hour. So man, we've got a question for you. We've got time for you, my darling.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome, sweetie.
I just wanted to quickly ask, you know, when you're talking about the website, so
Yes.
the website, would you recommend that we get that in place from the very beginning as well? Like with your saying, when you were getting the branding and the trademark and everything in place, would you say we should be doing the website simultaneously, or can that come later on?
Come later, I would literally just buy the domain name so no one else buys it. So if you can get
Right.
hold of the .com or .co.uk for a good price, like, you know, £10,
Yeah.
buy it. You don't need to populate it, but just get it so you've got it in your tool bag. Because obviously, if you're thinking of selling your brand down the road, if you've got your IP, you own the trademark, you've got your website, you've got all your brand assets, it's much more worth it, it's worth much more if you've got your whole sort of intellectual property wrapped up. If you don't have a good brand name, if you have a great brand name, but then you haven't got the website to go with, eventually we're using Amazon as basically, because that's where all the eyeballs are. So we're using this as a gateway. Remember, just because I'm teaching Amazon right now, we're using it for the research and we're launching on here. It doesn't, you don't just have to think Amazon for your brand. You can actually be on any platform. So, you know, you can literally be selling anywhere. So this is just a gateway. What if we get all of our brands, our IP and everything together, it just means that down the line, we've got so many more options. And Amazon really stand by people with the trademark. They will fight for you. So if someone tries to copy or use your brand name, if you're doing really well and people try and copy, then they will side with you and they'll shut their listing down. It's for the price, it's like worth its weight in gold.
Okay, and just very, very quickly, I know you were saying about how, you know, transparent the trademark registry process is, but if a name is very popular, if you're having a variation on the spelling of it, would that still be considered as copying copying somebody and be likely to be rejected? Or
well, I mean, I'm not obviously a trademark expert, but in my experience, if it's spelt differently, it's normally fine.
Okay, fab.
So if it's spelled differently,
I spoke to IPO to ask them about this exactly, because I wanted to register my name as a name, and I saw that there is a registered company with the same name, and they said if there is obvious a way to make a mistake in pronunciation or writing the name, we are sending the to the first company, to the registered one. We are sending information that somebody wants to register with something that is close or same as theirs, and they have certain period of time when they have to reply if they agree or not with this registration. If they don't agree, they have to say why. And after that, it takes time that to be considered from IPO. And if there are two cases, they may close your registration process and ask you, sorry, that doesn't work, or to advise you to make some changes, and they are going to accept them and will continue with your registration.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you, Mira. That was really helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Mira. So yeah, so I just think, you know, if we've got a change on spelling, then I think we should be fine. If we try and do something too similar, I've been written to before when someone's tried to, and you can challenge it or say no. But again, if we can avoid it from the beginning by doing the searches, then, you know, that's always the best way.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my darling. Lovely to see you all. And have a great evening. Guys, have a great December. Please stop planning your product launches. Come the new year, everyone's going to be thinking about creating a brand. So get a head start, do the numbers, and I will let you know when we're going to do our session. I think we're going to do it either the 29th or the 30th of December.